Welcome back, my young heroes. Today we reach one of the most important and emotional chapters of the Mahabharata, a chapter that teaches us what happens when jealousy grows too big, and how courage and dignity shine even in the darkest times. After the Raja Suya Yagya, something dangerous grew inside Duryodhan. Not a fire outside, but a fire inside his heart. He could not stop remembering Draupadi's laughter, the people praising Yudhishthira. Every thought felt like a spark that made his anger hotter and hotter. He said to his uncle Shakuni, I cannot live peacefully while the Pandavas have everything. Their palace, their glory, their strength. I want it all. Shakuni smiled a slow, cunning smile. My dear nephew, we do not need war to defeat them. We just need a game. They both conspired and convinced King Dhritarashtra to invite Yudhishthira to Hastinapur to celebrate his success and play a game of dice. King calls Vidar to go as his messenger and invite them. Vidar gets worried to hear this and goes to meet Bhishma, but he has to go. Vidar meets Yudhishthira and invite them. Yudhishthira said quietly, if the invitation comes from family, I must accept. Little did he know, this was the door to his greatest test. The hall was ready. Shakuni sat with the dice, and he was known to be a master, not because of luck, but because he played with trick dice that obeyed his will. The Pandavas took their seats. The Kauravas watched with hungry eyes. Yudhishthira said, we will play, but only fairly. Shakuni smiled. Of course. And the game began. But every time the dice rolled, Shakuni won, not once, not twice, but again and again and again. The hall filled with whispers. What is happening? Yudhishthira never loses like this. But he kept playing, because in those days, a Kshatriya did not leave a challenge unfinished, and Shakuni knew that. Slowly, painfully, Yudhishthira lost. His gold, his jewels, his horses, his army, his kingdom, his brothers. 4 brave warriors, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, became lost in a cruel game. And then, Yudhishthira made one final mistake. In desperation, he said, I still have one more thing, Draupadi. The hall gasped. Draupadi, the pride of the Pandavas, was wagered in a moment of weakness. And Shakuni rolled the dice, and he won. Duryodhan laughed loudly. Bring Draupadi to the court. A servant went to her chambers. Draupadi was shocked. How can a husband who has lost himself in a game still have the right to wager his wife? This question echoed through the palace. Even wise men had no answer. She refused to come, but Duryodhan ordered again. Bring her here, by force, if needed. Draupadi was brought to the hall, trembling but proud. Her eyes sparkled with courage. Even in danger, she stood tall. She asked the elders, if Yudhishthira lost himself first, how could he wager me after that? No one could reply. The court fell silent. When Draupadi was insulted, when her dignity was threatened, the entire universe shook. She cried out to Krishna, O Govinda, protect me. And far away in Dwarka, Krishna heard her heart. With divine power, he protected her honor, covering her with endless cloth so no insult could touch her. This moment teaches us, whoever stands for truth, dharma, and pure in heart, God himself stands with them. Bhim roared, I take a pledge today. I will not show my face to my elders unless I have killed Duryodhan and Dushasan. After the terrible event, even the elders realized that great injustice had been done. A new decision was made. The Pandavas must go to 13 years of exile, 12 years living in the forest, and 1 year living in disguise, unseen by anyone. If they were discovered in the final year, the 13 years would start all over again. It was the hardest punishment imaginable. The people of Indraprasth wept, but the Pandavas did not break. And so, the five brothers and Draupadi left their palace, their kingdom, their comforts. The trees became their new walls, the sky became their roof, and their bond became their greatest strength. This exile would teach them about patience, strength, wisdom, and forgiveness, and it would prepare them for the greatest war the world would ever see. My dear children, what did we learn today? Jealousy destroys even the strongest. Wrong decisions made in anger can ruin lives. Truth and dignity always win in the end. Even in darkness, courage and unity light the path forward. Remember, the Pandavas did not become heroes because they never fell. They became heroes because they always stood up again. We'll meet again for the next story. Until then, Jai Shri Krishna.